What's up, everybody? It's your boy Zo, episode 4, the Oh-ZoNe, coming to you with none other than Veronica, register, my premier guest.
Hello.
She is a CEO, bad. I'm sorry, I said it on YouTube. Bad mofo. I'll beep that out. Runs her own company, absolute boss.
Thank you.
Originally from NorCal. She's been on Okinawa with me for, we've only been here 3.5 years. She's been here 4.5 years.
Yeah.
So, yeah, she's done her time on Okinawa, on the rock, and I wanted to bring her on because her story is compelling. You don't really meet many, I'll say it, females, strong females, that are business savvy, driven, grind, like just downright, let's get the work done. And she is that person. So, yeah, I wanted to jump into this and tell her story and go from there. So, like I said, she's originally from NorCal, where I'm from, and that's where we connect, I think. And
for sure,
I'm gonna make it awkward up front, and I have to apologize to you. I do. She wasn't ready for this, so I kind of wrote you off in the beginning a little bit.
Oh,
I did. You're seeing this real time, right?
When we first met.
When we first met, I wrote her off a bit because I was like, I don't know, man. Like, I just don't know, and I think it's a natural defensive.
I think it's a cultural defensive thing. Yeah,
it is.
You don't let very many people in your circle. I'm the same way. My circle's small for a reason.
Absolutely. And it was, you grew on us, you grew on me. Time kind of went by, and I want to publicly to the world tell you to your face, like, you are a great human being.
Thanks.
And you are a good person. And I'm sorry that it would make me, this is for me, not her, right? That I'm apologizing to you because I think it was just wrong on me. So, yeah, I'm sorry.
No offense taken at all, dude. We gotta protect our family.
Yeah.
You can't just be letting any Joe Schmo all over your family.
No, and that's kind of what it wasn't even that. It was just more, I think I was a very internal human being, and I was very, like, stiff army. So, yeah, just up front, I'm sorry. But
never felt bad vibes, that's for sure.
Good. And then it's a win. So, all right, well, let's jump into it.
I'm Veronica. Well, Veronica's my legal name, but I go by V. Okinawan, 4.5 years, married, I have twins. That's right, twins, boy and a girl.
I don't know how you do
Life's
that.
Great.
I don't know how you do that.
Shit show constantly. Those videos were like, life with twins and like playing with each other. They just beat the shit out of each other. They just beat each other up all day, and me. But yeah, it's a good time. 2 versus 1. Do not recommend.
And not in a good way. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. So Okinawa's been good. Had my babies here.
That's been awesome.
Built our family here, I should say, not had my babies here.
True.
We're going to get into the opportunity to have our family here.
Okay.
Being that I'm in a same-sex marriage, my wife is Brianna. We're here, stationed on orders. She's a Marine, and we got the opportunity to come here. Yeah,
Sorry,
we got the opportunity to come here and take advantage of the amazing health system that Japan offers.
It's huge, man.
Which was a blessing for us.
Facts.
Because back in the States, we'd still be trying to save up nickels and dimes to have a family. And now our twins are almost 3.5.
Yeah.
So it was a blessing being able to come here to have a family.
Right on.
And now build my business.
And we're going to jump into the business thing in a minute. I promise you we are. But you're originally from NorCal.
Yeah.
You have how many brothers and sisters, if you don't mind?
I come from a family of 5. But yeah, my best friend's my sister. Me and my sister, it's my ride or die. We're 5 years apart, but we don't go at least a full hour without having some sort of contact.
I definitely don't have a relationship with my brothers. That's for sure.
Like, that's my fucking ride or die.
Good,
my sister.
good.
Yeah.
Would you feel that coming from where you came from, because I know that's how I feel about where I'm from. Yeah. How would you say, like, explain if that's shaped you or if it hasn't, like, what's shaped you to have that drive that you have, kind of like tenacity, if you will? Was it your upbringing? Was it your experiences as a kid?
Yeah.
Kind of your family situation? Like, what was that like?
It was definitely a combination of both. My upbringing, my mom always worked. Like, she hustled. She worked her way up. She got herself up to being a regional manager for Northern California for Verizon Wireless.
Dang.
She started
old school Verizon.
Phones. Like, she started from the bottom, made herself all the way up to the top. She was always working. It's just, I think the hustle is in my blood because my dad too, my biological father, is also a hustler.
Yeah.
Like, he worked a lot.
Okay.
Maybe not in the most legal ways, but he hustled.
We can't talk about that. The president was take us out, but
yeah, so I think that, and just the things I've gone through, just being in positions where I was all I had.
Yeah.
You know, so it's
For
like
sure.
I had to prove to myself that I didn't need anybody. Because
Yeah.
one, I didn't have anybody, but two is just you got to make it for your own. You know, like
Yeah.
I had to make this life for myself.
Yep.
I had to push myself.
I'm telling you, like I said in one of my episodes, I was like carrying a trash bag full of my clothes. You know, like I was working, I was finding change, like I was doing things because for me it was survival.
Yeah.
At the time, as a kid, you don't really think of it in that nature.
No.
You're just like, okay, this is life. This is I'm telling you,
it's shitty, but damn, this is life.
This is what I got, and you know, you go through it and you figure it out. But it's not until later, I think, that you realize, man, like I'm thankful for that experience because without that, I don't think I would be who I am today.
For sure. I always say, like, I don't regret. It's just lessons learned. Like, I've been through a lot of shit in my life, and there's certain things that I probably should regret. But at the end of the day, I'm like, no, like, fuck it. Like, that, it made me who I am today.
Facts.
You know, it's lessons learned. Would I do those things again? Probably not. But it got me where I'm at today.
Good. And I'll tell you, so you have siblings, obviously, you said. You're the middle, towards the top.
I'm the oldest to grow up in the home.
There you go. Okay.
But I don't like to leave my other siblings out because we grew up together, but not in the same house. We all like hung out and stuff like that.
And did you have a lot of jobs working as like a teenager?
Yeah, I got my first job when I was 15 and a half. I started as a bagger at a grocery store.
Man.
And then right next door, did you grow up with, you know, CVS?
Now, oh, yeah.
But it used to be Long's Drugstore.
Oh, are you kidding me?
Okay, so I used to work at Long's Drugstore as a photography section. Like, I used
like
to
developing
pictures. Yes.
Old school, like.
Yes. In a black room. You had to get like white. It was weird.
What?
Now looking back at it.
Were you qualified to do that?
No. But they hired me and I learned. Like, I was 15 and a half. What the hell?
I'll take it. Free money.
So I actually had 2 jobs at 15 and a half.
Okay.
I was also a police explorer. I did the police cadet program.
I would have never I'm learning things. I'm telling you real quick. I learned so much about you every time we meet and talk. It's crazy. Police explorer. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Like in high school, or I'd say probably like junior high up, I knew I wanted to be in some sort of law, like whether an attorney.
That's wild.
Lawyer,
I didn't know that.
Something like that.
No way.
I think it was more. Remember, we were having a conversation about life coaching and stuff like that, and how I always wanted to be. My motivation was to be the person that I didn't have in life.
Oh, for sure.
So becoming a cop was kind of like I wanted to protect kids or anybody who had gone through things that I had gone through.
Yeah, definitely.
So that was my motivation of going through towards the cadet program. I did that all 4 years of high school. I went training, police academy, fire training.
That's
I was
wild,
on patrol. Man. Like I've shot. I got in fights with grown ass men.
That's crazy.
It was fun. High school for me was not. I did party and stuff like that, but I was out on patrol in high school.
That's crazy.
And I think that saved me a lot. I was surrounded by
seeing that side
of people who would support me, and I was like, I want that life.
Yeah.
You know, I could see a future being around cops and stuff.
So I imagine the end state was to become a cop.
Yeah, that was my goal.
Right,
I wanted to be like a chief, a detective of a police department.
No way.
Yeah, but then, life happens.
I was going to say, so clearly you're not that now. Did you just kind of choose a different path?
Yeah. My senior year in high school, a really close cousin of mine who was basically like a brother of mine passed away in a tragic car accident.
What? I'm sorry.
And from there, like, it was the first time I had ever experienced what now we know is depression.
Oh,
losing my cousin was
I know what that is.
So I kind of just like gave up on school. I went from basically having straight A's, 4.0, and it was like my 3rd semester in high school, and I was just like, I'm out. Like,
no way.
Everything. Yeah.
Wow.
So I ended up it was a super senior. I didn't walk stage. I had to go back to school during the summer. My mom went with me. She's like, I'm not going to not let you get your diploma. Like, you're going to get your diploma. If I have to sit there and drive you to summer school every single day.
Hispanic moms, man. I'm telling you.
We're going to make you get your diploma. And I did. She did. I got my diploma, thankfully. Good. And then after that, like, I had no motivation to be in the law enforcement industry.
Kind of just done with that. Close that chapter.
Yeah. I was like, no, it's not where I'm supposed to be.
Oh, I didn't know that. So after that, what was the next step?
I was all over the place, man. I did banking. I did insurance. I was all over the place.
Were these jobs that you just like hey, there's a like old school, open the paper, available, boom, I'm gonna go there, or was it things that you sought out?
More Craigslist. Craigslist was the thing back then.
That's
how
safe.
I used to look for jobs. I know. Now looking back, I'm like, good lord, but it wasn't like that back then. Or maybe I didn't know. I was younger.
We were naive.
But yeah, I would, and that's one thing I will say. I've always thanked my mom for this, because she always prayed favor over us.
Gotcha.
I've never not once gone to a job interview and not been hired.
I could see that. You have that charisma. I think it's easy to sit in a room with someone and be like, why should we hire you? And it's like, where do I begin? You know what I mean? And I think it's that belief in yourself, and you obviously exude that in a good way. So I could see it. I could see it for sure.
So yeah, I found that job on Craigslist. Got into banking, was not for me. I hated it. And
like
the money
a teller?
so dirty. Yeah,
I was gonna say.
Then I had to upsell people. How do you upsell a damn savings account?
Come on in. Don't you want to have a savings?
Yeah. Give me all your money. Do you want to open a savings account? It was just awkward. It was very out of my thing.
It takes a particular person to be a banker. No offense.
And it's boring.
Yeah. Very mundane.
Boring. Yeah.
Super mundane.
Same shit every day. Yeah. Like, it wasn't for me.
It's like a welfare office.
Yeah.
If you don't know what that is, sorry. You don't know what we're like. But
waiting forever.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Food stamps. It was a thing. It's definitely a thing.
Food stamps.
Do you remember when they were just checks?
I'm telling banking.
Yeah, banking. From there, I'm trying to think, where the hell did I go from there? Oh, from the bank, I went and worked at the school. Random.
A school?
A school. I was an after-school teacher, after-school activities coordinator. I know, random.
Wild.
It was flexible. That's why. It was flexible because I only worked in the afternoons and I was going to school during the day.
Okay.
So after the bank, that's what it was. I was like, I definitely don't want to be in banking. And my grandma was like, go to school. And I was like, fine, I'll go to college. So I started college, and then
community
I was
college?
After school. Yeah, community college. And no, offense to anybody that does college, more power to you.
It's a thing.
I mean, I quickly learned that I made way more money without a degree. Very
that's
early.
A whole, thing to dive into nowadays, because society says have a degree. Like, without that, you can't do anything. But you see people in life that are super successful and with no degree. So, I think it depends on your flavor. Yeah, you know what I mean? And obviously it's not for everyone, but
no, I think school is great. I love school. It's a great, you can learn new things, learn new trades and stuff like that, but it's not for everybody.
But you can do it.
Yeah, you can do it.
It's here, living proof, right? You can do it, man. You can be successful. And so you went to community college for a bit.
College for a little bit, and then from there I moved to SoCal. I got married to my ex. No, it's okay. From school and doing the after school program, I did that for a year and a half, I'd say. And it was cool. It was a vibe, going to college during the day, working in the afternoon with the kids, living it up. I was young, 21, partying with my friends all the time. It was a good time.
There you go.
And then I met my ex-husband, moved to SoCal with him. Mm-hmm. He was also a Marine, so that's where my journey of the military lifestyle started.
We had that effect.
Just
kidding.
It's the Marines. No, my mom.
Throw those blues on, baby.
It's the blues and the penny droppers. I'm not even gonna lie. Those are the Charlies.
Oh,
love me some Charlies.
We're getting off track.
But my mom was like, I told her, I was like, I'm dating this guy and he's a Marine. She's like, oh yeah, Mia. She's like, you want to go in the Marines? She's like, not the Army and not the Navy. And I was like, damn, have you dated all the branches?
We're blushing over here, but okay.
So yeah, Marine, and I stuck through it because now my wife is a Marine. My now wife is a Marine.
Yeah.
From there, I got into sales hardcore when I moved to SoCal.
That was the car.
That was the car business.
We got to talk about.
Time out. I started selling solar panels way back then, dude.
Seriously?
Way back then.
Did you know this? As I was saying, we're finding out things. Wife's off camera. We know what's going. Go ahead, please.
So I started selling solar. I had a little table, and I'd pop up at Best Buys and Home Depots and just randomly talk to people. I'd be like, "Hi, I'm Veronica, and I work for Solar City. Have you considered solar lowering your
I've heard of that."
That was me.
Oh my gosh.
I was that one bugging you at Home Depot, asking you if you wanted.
And you gotta as someone who's a recruiter, you gotta have a special set of cojones or ovaries to get and to put yourself in public like that. That's hard.
Yeah. It was scary.
Pop up, hi, I'm happy to be here when I'm not, but and you did that for.
I did it, and I did freaking great at it.
Really?
Wild.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
What do you think made you successful in that venture, like selling solar? Not just sales, but that particular product. Like,
I will say in any type of sales is I sold myself. I made people love me. I made people trust me. And whatever I was selling them, like, they didn't even care. Yeah. They loved me. They're like, sure, we trust you. Whatever you say, I will sign. And I'm like, tight.
And I'll tell you one thing about this as a female in sales, right? And this goes into a really controversial topic. Most people think females are good in sales because of they're promoting looks, right? Yeah. They got to be a certain way. If you know Veronica, like I know Veronica, she is the last person she's a very beautiful lady, as you can tell, but she's not the kind of human being that's going to be like, well, I got to be this way to get you to like me. Like, you can just tell by meeting you at, your energy. And most people are at least going to be intrigued to be like, well, she seems cool. Like, what do you got? Yeah. And then from there, it's like, right. And next thing you know, that I don't even have a house to buy solar, but I'll put it on my garage. And next thing, here we go. So, so you did that?
Yeah, I did that for a little bit. And then from there, it was a weird. The company I started with was like one of those kind of like pyramid situations. Mm-hmm. And I was too young for it. I was like, nah, I'm not really there yet. Thing.
Gotcha.
And then I got into car sales. Oh. And that's where everything began.
We got to talk about that. We don't want to take too much time, but I'm telling you, you should teach a class at like a TED Talk. You should go to these Fortune 500 companies, because she was super successful selling cars, like not just average. I'm okay. I'm making a living. Like,
I killed it.
Like, please, yeah. She murder, sideways, clap, 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 chitty, chitty, bang, bang.
Me and my really good friend used to always say, we're putting dreams in driveways.
Oh my! I'm done. I have nothing now. I'm gonna just cut the no. So
it was dope.
Touch on that, please.
At first, it was intimidating getting into the car business game, I'm going to say, because it's all males. It's a very much so male.
Anytime you go on a car lot,
it's men.
It's all men. Facts.
And then they hired me, and I was like, hi.
I'm Veronica.
And the guys hated it. They're like, because it was an up system. That's usually how car businesses go, is you're out on the lot, everybody's just out looking for the next car.
Oh, yeah.
And whoever sees the first car and goes, up, it's your car.
What?
If you don't say up, it's not your car.
No, secrets.
So I used to fucking chill in a little golf cart in between two little cars, and I'd just be chilling. And then
Tenacity.
I'd be like, up! I literally would jump on my golf cart and scream up so all the guys can hear that I got that car.
Would the customer hear you?
No, you're in your car still. You don't know what you're kind of, browsing around there. You don't really see.
You're not, because I've never heard that. That's what I'm saying. I've been on.
It's just a little insider.
Gotcha. So then
I get on my golf cart,
and you would pull up. Yeah. Hey, you guys, what are you interested in?
Yeah, are you guys out shopping today? Do you have any questions? How can I help you?
She's gonna make me buy a car. I don't even have the money to. But so she did. She killed it in that.
Yeah, and it was great.
What was one of the things you learned? Not to change, but what was one of the things that you absolutely learned early from car sales? Because you did solar, but jumping in the car business, what was something you had to grasp quick? Like, ooh, this is slightly different.
I had to learn, I think, just how to deal with like angry, grumpy men.
What?
They were just haters. Dude.
Yeah,
they were haters. It was new to them. Like, they never knew what it was like to have females in their industry, because it's a male-run industry. And they're like, who's this little kid?
Yeah,
that's what they looked at me like. I was so young, and they're like, shouldn't you be at home? Like, where's your mom?
Oh, like, wow.
No.
Let me show you.
It was just it never like tore me down. I think it honestly helped my confidence.
Okay.
Just knowing that I was a very young female and a female in the industry. And I was like, I'm not going to let them scare me away. I'm going to make this fuel to prove them wrong.
Kind of made that fire burn more.
That was always my motivation every month, was I'm going to prove everybody that I can outsell. Like, I'm going to outsell you. Yeah, you've been selling cars for 12 years. I've been selling it for a month. I got you. Like, dang. I was outselling back and forth.
Yeah. And so in that industry, obviously it's male dominated. You had to learn quick. What was one of the things that kind of helped you take off? Outside, obviously you had the skills, but
I started to introduce internet sales. I was like telling them, this was 2000, oh God, not 10, 11.
Oh yeah, 9, I could see 10, that.
11, something like that.
Okay.
And I was like, hey, that's what it was. It was super cold outside, and you obviously have to be outside to scream and look for the car.
North Carolina?
NorCal.
North.
This was
North Carolina or Northern California?
Northern California.
My bad.
Yeah, Northern
NorCal. It is cold.
Yes, it got cold, and I didn't want to be outside. And of course, I was like, well, I have to be like fucking tough. All the guys are outside, so I had to fucking be tough. And I was like, I came inside to use the restroom, and I told my manager, I was like, hey, like, have you thought about, can we just like make phone calls?
Oh man.
And he was
like cold calls?
Literally. He's like, get the phone book. That's what he told me. He's like, get the phone book. And I was like, bet. If I don't have to fucking be outside, like, I will do it. And he's like, all right, here. Literally chucked me the phone book. Man. And I looked at it, and I literally just started calling people. It's like, hey, we're having this really big sale on our Kia Fortes. Would you like to come in and check it out?
Kia Forte. Oh my God.
Or I don't know, like Hyundai Elantra. That's what it was. My first dealership.
Always wanted a Hyundai Elantra.
And it kicked off, dude. I started making appointments, and eventually they're like, we don't even want you outside. They ended up making me a little in the corner of our break room, a little cubicle to just be
doing your thing. Oh man, we call that dialing for dollars. I did it on recruiting. It was the same thing. You're just calling people all day long. So wow. And your wife was a recruiter, wasn't she?
No,
she was a DI. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, recruiters are better. But anyways, we won't talk about that.
No, all of them. I think all of them are they stress you guys all out to a whole different, you guys all come out learning something new.
I'll tell you what, but recruiting, it's not my story. So recruiting helped me understand sales.
Yeah.
Because of what you said hit home. People buy you. And that's what made me, in my opinion, successful is I didn't never sold the Marine Corps. Right. I just, like, if you believe in me and I knew what was expected, then it was too easy. So same concept. And you introduce internet sales.
Yeah.
Or cold calls, if you will.
Calling,
and then
from there it evolved. They're like, we should, they adjusted like their website. They started like kind of slowly evolving. And from there, that's when I moved to North Carolina. Then I got at Honda. And Honda,
how many years did you do that? Just curious.
The first dealership I was at was about 1.5 years.
Okay.
And then I went to Honda, and I was there for 3.5 years.
Okay.
And I launched their internet department at
Launched.
Honda.
That's how you know. That's key. Like, no, it goes, because that's a bomb.
Yeah.
We're launching.
Yeah. So dude, it was intense. It was a lot of work, a lot of long days.
Long hours, long days.
That was my grinding time. Like I always said, your 20s is grinding.
Yeah.
Learning. Like people get so stressed out about, because I won't lie. Like I was in banking. I was in solar. I was at a grocery store. I was like developing pictures. I did inventory stocking. Like there's literally nothing I can't do.
Yeah.
Going through it, I used to be like, damn, dude, this sucks. Like I have so many jobs and I'm only 23. But now,
23, holy
now that I'm like I'll fucking say it. I'm 33. No. I'll be 34 next month.
Look at her. She don't look like that. Come on. I'm 39.
Weird.
Get out of here.
Oh, God. Dang, we're old. No, I'm just kidding.
all right. Get back on topic.
Now looking back, and I'm like, dude, I'm glad that I had so many jobs in my 20s because now I'm in my early mid 30s, and now I own my own fucking business.
And that, like, I'm telling you,
if going through it,
huge.
And even my mom was always like, all right, you can never keep a job, and I'm like, but if it doesn't bring me happiness anymore, I didn't want to fucking be there anymore.
And I think that's a key in life, right? Because you're making good money,
right? You
were doing great. I think you were at a great place in life. What led you
to keep going?
Yeah,
I wanted to go up in the ranks in the car.
So that was
my thing was I wanted to get into a management position, which was very I was the first female manager at the Toyota dealership, and this was 5 years ago.
Man,
so it wasn't that long ago. Like this is what I'm telling you. Like it's very male ran.
Got you.
And so I was like determined. I was like, I am going to end up at a dealership, and I will be one of the managers at the dealership. So even if it meant hopping different dealerships, I definitely did that until I found the dealership that was going to, one, give me the opportunity to prove to them that I can be a manager even though I'm a female. Oh. And they did.
No. So when it came to that, you said you set goals for yourself, right? I heard that piece. Are you like a board person? Like, these are my goals? Are you a book person? Like, these are my goals? Or is it just internal? Like, this is what I want and I'm going after it. Like,
yeah, I would say most of it is internal.
Okay.
Most of it's internal, and then occasionally is handwriting.
Gotcha.
I have like a journal. I've had journals forever, but I almost always have at least one journal a year type thing.
Okay.
And it's no like making it cute and mood boards, none of that. It's literally like, this is where I want to see myself, and I don't like to set resolutions and shit like that, because I feel like it always just sets me up to fucking fail.
No, I've said that from day one. I'm not a resolution dude at all.
You have a piece of chocolate on your tooth. I want you to keep talking when.
See, She's just good people. But I got you.
So yeah, I wasn't gonna give up until I got in the manager position. Finally, I ended up at Toyota as a finance manager. Did that for 2.5 years. No, it was 3.5 years that I finished out at Toyota.
Okay.
And that was the end of my car business career because
Really?
we came to Okinawa.
Oh, so you did that right before you came
Yeah,
here, leading
that was
up.
my last job.
Did you ever think of like carrying that, over here? Because obviously they have like the U.S. new car sales, like at the PXs. And all
I
that.
would never get involved with that.
I mean, so like I said, the biggest thing with V and telling her business side is you can see the journey from young woman to where you're at, that growth.
Yeah.
Where you come from, kind of the jobs you went through, the hustler in you, the goal setting in you.
I always, my thing was always, how can I be better? Like literally every morning I wake up and I'm like, how am I going to be better today?
Facts, man. I say that.
How can I be better? How can I be better as for myself?
Yeah.
As a mom, as a wife, as a friend, like how can I just be better?
Improve.
I'm always, and it's a cursing and a blessing at the same time, is I'm really big on self-reflecting.
Yes,
but I'm also, my heart is fucking crazy.
You have to be.
Because I feel like I constantly, like, right when I'm like, okay, I'm good, I set the freaking bar up higher for myself.
Yes.
I can never just be like, I'm good.
You never just settle,
no,
right? It's always like,
where can I keep going?
Next. Next. Yes.
Which is a good thing, but it's also like at the same time, I'm like, okay, right now I appreciate that I'm in a hustle, in the hustle phase of my business, but I'm like, I just want to sit back at some point,
Oh man,
I want to watch all my hard work. I can't wait to get to that point where I watch all the hard work unfold,
And I think the biggest thing with you is you just hit on it. You're now a mom.
Yeah.
And like you said, a faithful, loving, adoring wife. That's a good plug. All right. You went from hustler to that. What was the challenge in that? Because I know as a dad, like you hitting the brakes on your hustle is really difficult to go from that to like, I got to put all my focus into
my family,
parenthood, my family, my wife, how was that difficult for you? Like, what was the challenge?
That was hard.
Yeah. Did it mentally? Like,
it was hard. Cause I mean, if you think about it, I've been working since I was 15 and I've had my last job at 29, 29, because I turned 30 here in Okinawa.
Okay.
Yeah, I've never not worked.
Yeah.
And then, so that was another adjustment, was we moved here during COVID. So it was,
we know what that's like.
Yeah, it was like, you have to leave your job in the States because here you can't like really transfer. I tried.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, I got pregnant and found out we were having twins. So we're like, I'm definitely going to be staying home for at least a little bit. I was meant throughout my whole pregnancy. I was like, it's twins. Like I'm going to stay home and try to figure out this whole stay-at-home mom life and see if it's something for me. Like I've never been a stay-at-home anything.
Dive right into that, right?
And I tried it and I was like, you know what? Bless those who do it. Bless your heart.
You have to be a special person, man. You got to be a special person.
Tell you. And I don't know if it's the fact that I always think about, I'm like, what if I would have had my kids at like 20? I wouldn't know anything different.
Yeah.
But I had my kids at 30 with obviously a shit ton of experiences, a shit ton of like cultures. I've traveled, I've done it all.
Yeah.
And then now I'm just sitting at home taking care of two little humans and we're all staring at each other like,
how do I do this? What am I supposed to do with all?
Yeah, man. That was rough. Yeah. It was rough.
Did it, when you say mental, like, because I know for me, I think the hardest thing was you feel alone. Like it's overwhelming, overstimulated. Yeah. You're doing your best to keep these little humans alive. They want everything, need everything from you. And there's times where you can't even give anything to yourself. Literally. So you're like on the last bit of patience, bit of everything, right? How did that affect you? Like that, like genuinely.
I learned about my childhood trauma.
Present, it tapped on the shoulder.
Yeah, I was like, hey, hi, bitch, I'm here. I was like,
still here. You ain't let us go yet.
Great. After I thought I just figured my life out.
Did it bring it out more? It did.
It did. This is coming from somebody who's been in mental health counseling since I was 17. Like I knew at a very young age, based on the things I'd been through as a kid, I needed professional assistance to get me through life.
Gotcha.
And it did, whether it was weekly visits, everyday visits.
Yeah.
Like, I did it all. Phone call in the middle of the day. I'm like, I need my counselor. Like just whatever I needed. That.
Yeah.
And then I had my kids and I was like, oh shit. Like it's a whole different,
it's like a different realm you step into.
It is. Right? And then it's not only that's like, you're never the same person. Like, I went into the hospital pregnant, Veronica.
Yes.
And then I came out of the hospital with twins as a mom. Like, yes, I'm still Veronica. Like, this is still me as a shell. But literally, I am not that same person.
Right. And it's immediate. Yes. And that's the hardest, right?
It is. Especially, and then, like, on top of, going through the birth and all those things and processing on, and you leave, and then I'm just sitting at home watching these two little humans that I have to take care of. But I'm like, who the fuck am I?
That's key right there.
Like, who?
Oh, man.
I don't know who I am. And if I don't know who I am, how am I supposed to take care of you?
Facts.
And then trying to figure it out, all this childhood trauma pops up. And I'm like, well, God, I thought I was this person. But then, like, I thought I was an emotional, caring person. I thought I could be empathetic. And fuck no.
You find out.
I struggle with that shit. And then I look back and I'm like, well, this is why I struggle with empathy.
Facts.
Well, this is why I struggle letting my kids cry.
Yes.
Well, this is why I struggle when my kids ask me questions. Like, it brings up shit from when I was a kid. I'm like, it connects it, and it makes me understand, like, we don't know what the fuck we're doing.
Facts.
Nobody
does.
We're doing. Like,
nope.
You don't.
No.
Being a parent, like, I used to get so annoyed hearing, like, well, being a parent doesn't come with a book. I'm like, well, that's ignorant. But now I'm like, okay, no, it doesn't come with a book, but there are sources and resources. Reach out to your friends. We're not the only ones going through it. Yeah. When you start to talk to people about it, it's like, oh shit, it's comforting, but it's all like, it's comforting in a weird way to know that we all struggle.
Yes. No, you're not alone. Bonding, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
It's like, damn, dude, like, we're not the only ones, and it's okay.
And
like,
from a mom perspective, sorry to interrupt you. No. From a mom perspective, I could only imagine. And I say that just because I only know from a dad's perspective. Going through that process of giving birth, all that, I don't want to say trauma, but your body changes. You go from Veronica, you hit it so good. I love that analogy. You're like, I'm Veronica, I'm still the same shell, but the person within immediately changes because now I have kids.
Yeah, and your mind, like, I don't think the same. I don't look at shit the same. Like, I'm constantly, not that I never wasn't, obviously, like, always on my toes because I was, always by myself. But now even more so, I'm just like so hyper alert.
There you go.
On everything.
I think that's for me, it was always being wound up.
Yeah.
That was a bad motion to use. I'll use the twist motion. There we go. That's a better one. I've always wound up, and I think it's finding ways to unwind. And I'm a person that's already overstimulated mentally. I think constantly about project things I want to do. So when I add in all that extra stuff, it just makes it more like, man, I need to find a way to bring all this down. And that's, my journey, I used alcohol. That was my thing a lot.
And that's the easiest thing to do, honestly.
Easy. And too easy. It's scary.
It's annoying how, and my thing is cannabis. Like, that's always, I'm not pro pharmaceuticals in any type of way or form. Like, I'm all about getting medical, psychology, counseling, professional services. I think that it's great.
There you go.
I just hate how quickly they're so fast to shove a pill down
Medicate
your throat.
You.
Yeah,
100%.
Like, no, like, I don't want to be dependent on something else. I want to be dependent on myself.
Facts.
Guide me through that.
Yes.
And I will take care of the rest.
Yeah.
Like, just give me the tools that I need to be successful completely on my own, and I'll go home and smoke my blunt.
Yeah. Don't shove a pill down my throat and make me feel like a zombie. That's not helping me live life.
Addicted to it.
That's the cycle.
I would still be on it.
It's the
or
cycle.
God knows what else I would have from now being on. Because I would definitely probably still be on medication, especially now as a mom. I'm like, I don't know, dude. It can cause infertility issues. Like, so much more goes into that little pill that they try to give you because you need help. Like, guide me through it.
Facts. And I'll tell you,
drug me through
that's probably been the biggest thing because that's like big pharma. That's probably a whole nother episode. But right now, I think
tuned.
Facts. At the end of the day, you said mom of twins.
Yeah.
And your wife, you and your wife. So obviously, what did it take what was that journey like getting pregnant? Was it a process? Was it hard? Was it
kind of, I guess the process, just because we're big planners. So we came to Okinawa knowing that we wanted to have a family here. I did a lot of research on the medical healthcare side of it here.
Yeah.
And found a great hospital that specializes in infertility services in Okinawa.
No way.
Yeah, that's literally all he does.
Okay.
And so went there, did a consultation, and we did IVF. There's two different options. There's like IUI or IVF.
Mm-hmm.
And we just went straight for IVF because I have had some infertility issues as a being younger and stuff.
Gotcha, yeah.
When I was younger, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
And so I went in. We already had our sperm donor picked out. That was a whole journey. Took us probably almost 3 years to finally be like, this is the donor we want. Like,
I imagine
it's weird.
We've talked a little bit off, you know, and that's a whole journey in itself.
It is. It's weird.
Yeah,
it's interesting.
For sure.
I love the evolution. I love things evolving, but it's also like, it's weird.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
No, I mean the fact that you could say that using it, thank you for that. That's being real.
So we did that, picked our sperm donor, thankfully, and this is like, when I say, people are real quick to be like, oh, IVF, so of course you're going to get pregnant. No, I still am very much so from a believer that blessings are from God. Like, yes, I can have medical intervention, but at the end of the day, it's up to God whether or not he wanted me to have these children. He selected these children for me.
Yeah.
So that's always been my thing. Like, people are like, oh, did you pick the sex of your kids? Because there's that thing now. Like, you could pick the eye color, the hair color. And
I've read. Yeah, you can go full on, like,
build it. Yeah,
that type of
that shit's just weird to me. Like
a little Chucky doll,
literally. Yeah. And so no, we didn't do that. We just did IVF. My eggs with the sperm. Got pregnant.
Good.
Had twins. I was real big.
No way. Pregnant. I can't see. You're so tiny.
It was weird. It was really. I actually would get checked. They do ultrasounds of my ribs to make sure my ribs wouldn't break.
Oh my god.
It was intense. It was intense.
So did you go, and forgive my ignorance, but when you get IVF, is IVF for, like, you can say, okay, I want twins, or was it? Yeah. So you wanted twins?
No, I did not want twins.
What?
So what happened is you get to pick the amount of embryos that get inseminated.
Okay.
And because based on my medical history, the doctor was like, I'll do one, but I recommend 2 embryos because I had a lot of scarring and a lot of medical history. And I was like, okay, sure, let's do 2. He's like, honestly, based on what I'm seeing, I don't see them both sticking. He goes, I don't even know if one is going to stick. He's like, we were already mentally prepared to have to do another cycle.
Yeah.
Which is mentally another mental exhaustion.
I can imagine.
Artificial hormones, all that shit is intense. I was going to say,
yeah.
It's intense. And thankfully, it's
power to you for doing that.
Way less here. They do things way different here in Japan, which I'm so glad I did it here versus the States.
Yeah.
But yeah, we did 2 embryos and they never stopped growing. They are still growing.
So it just kind of, you're like, wait a minute, there's 2 in there?
Yeah,
no way.
They did the ultrasound and I was like, excuse me, there's 2. And he goes, yes, don't get attached. Like, one might stop growing or they both might start growing.
So it's like a backup plan.
Yep.
What?
And no, they're still alive. No.
They
didn't stop growing.
Oh, can you imagine that shock? Like, oh, wait, what?
I went and I got in the car and it was during COVID, so my wife couldn't even be with me in any of the appointments. Man. She'd just wait in the parking lot for me, poor thing.
Yeah.
I got in the car and I put the ultrasound on her lap. And she looks in and she's like, why is there 2? Yeah. And I was like, we're having twins. And she was like,
tell me, she was like, you're joking, right? This has to be.
She went silent, bro. Like, I dead ass thought she was having like a seizure or like a panic
attack. Way.
Like, she didn't even move. And I was like, babe.
She goes,
the first thing she said, she goes, that's 2 car seats, 2 cribs, a double stroller, 2 college funds, two everything. And I was like, oh no!
Let's cry together. Oh man.
Then we're driving. We leave the hospital, and I'll never forget this. We're driving, and I was like, how the fuck are they supposed to come out?
Tell me that I'm looking at the anatomy of myself.
They gotta come out
some way. Hey,
it's intense, dude.
I can imagine.
It was funny.
And the birth itself was it pretty?
It was a whole thing. No, it did not. And it was fine. We're alive.
That's what I mean. Was there major complications or was it pretty?
There was more complications after birth. For
really?
Me.
Oh, for yourself?
For myself. What? My kids came out fine, even though I had them pretty early.
Sure.
They were in the NICU for about 2 weeks, but no oxygen, anything like that. They were just little.
Gotcha.
They were underweight. I never knew that car seats had a weight limit. You have to be at least 5 pounds.
Oh, yeah. No.
I didn't know that. My babies were tiny. My daughter was 3 pounds. My son was 4.
What?
So we had to just at least wait till they were 5 pounds.
Did you know this, babe?
I don't remember. I think so. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm testing you.
So once they hit 5 pounds, we were able to take them home. But I had complications after surgery.
Gotcha.
That I had to go back and have a second surgery. So I actually didn't meet my kids for like close to 3 days after I had them.
No way.
Yeah. They took them out of me. I always joke and I'm like, they stole you in the night because I had my C-section at night.
Yeah.
And they took them out of me. I got to see my daughter come out, got to see my son come out.
Awesome.
And they immediately took them in the NICU and I didn't get to meet them 3 days.
Oh man, that's rough.
That is
That's
that
a
was
mental.
hard.
I couldn't
Yeah.
even imagine.
That
Wow.
was hard coming up, and I was like,
Was your
one,
wife-
I don't have them in my belly anymore, and two, I'm still bleeding, and three, where the fuck are my kids?
Yeah.
You
All
know?
that in one moment.
And my wife's running from. I ended up in the ICU. My kids were in the NICU, so she's running from one intense center to the other, and we're here completely
poor
by
Bree,
ourselves.
man. She's probably losing her mind. You're freaking.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm completely medicated. I have literally.
shout out to Bree.
Yes,
that's love right
dude,
there.
Literally, like, let me tell you, I will always, no matter what, like, going through birth with somebody is
life change.
I fell in love with her all over again.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Sweet.
It's a different kind of like.
Facts.
That's my fucking ride.
That's my human. That's my person.
That
right?
is my fucking.
That's your most vulnerable, most
literally,
in every way.
I was on my deathbed, and I was just like, she never left my side. Never.
I could tell you guys are just meant to be.
Yeah, that's
lock and key, man. No key, just lock.
Yeah,
that's it.
Sure. And we met on Tinder. I should have put that.
There it is.
We're a Tinder love story.
They were seeking out coffee. Yeah, that's what it's for.
Literally.
And you got, some you said blessings, and I think there's just you meet things happen in your life for a reason. You meet people for a reason, and it's just beautiful to see like two people that were probably not supposed to meet and then came together. And look at you guys now. And when you see her family, I mean, you can't meet another beautiful. Like her and her wife together, their kids are like pulled out of Hallmark cards, right? Like
when we
her
first
house,
met,
everything.
I remember you said that. I was like, thanks. That's like such an amazing compliment. But now I can't look at Hallmark cards without thinking.
You walk into her house and it's like it's insane. It's like those houses. What do you call those houses where they show them for people to buy? Like show houses,
the
like,
model homes.
That's her house and her family. Like you under your breath are like, this is too nice, I'm leaving, because you realize your mortality and where you're at, but then it makes you want to be better. And talking with Melissa, that's one thing we loved about you from jump, is I was like, that person makes me want to be better in every aspect of what I do.
And I love that, because it's literally like my goal. There's so much to life, man. Like,
facts.
If I can do it, anybody can do it. And if I can help you do it, you better believe I fucking got you.
You're that person, man.
I want to see my people succeed. Life's too fucking short. We got to succeed. We got to enjoy life, man. My grandma always said, live and let live.
That's it. And, I said in one of my episodes, you get one shot at this. There's no rewind.
No.
You're just moving with time and every day. And I was like, people waste their 24 hours. And I'm like, why?
Yeah.
So it goes back to like watching a little bit of your journey in the short time I've known you, going through that with your wife, the birth of your kids, the hustler, the CEO in you. And on top of that, I'll say it, you're in a same-sex marriage.
Yeah.
That challenge.
Yeah, dealing with that.
Have you, what is the challenges with that? Have you felt, you've had to work extra hard in a sense, or is it just like, whatever, I blot out the haters?
Yes and no. I mean, thankfully, we are very loved and supported by our families now, finally. That was
Takes
a
time.
journey.
Facts.
Many years of fully getting family support.
Sure.
So that is huge. I think just having your circle supporting my wife and I was really all we needed to continue in life.
Okay.
But as far as like, the challenges that come with having a family as a same-sex couple, like there are challenges. Like people are like, well, you guys still have your rights and things like that. Like, yeah, we do. But every 4 years we are on our toes, biting our fingernails. Like, is our family going to be torn apart?
No, yeah.
Because that is one of the things that everybody holds, is like the LGBT rights and your rights and these and that.
Yeah.
And every 4 years we're like, what are we going to do? Are we going to still be married tomorrow? Like, we don't know, because it so quickly can be taken away.
I can only imagine.
And thinking, like, my wife's like, we're in the process right now of getting my kids legally adopted by her, even though she's on the birth certificate.
Gotcha.
They have her last name. She was obviously there at birth.
Definitely.
We, as a same-sex marriage, she has to legally adopt them, so that way, if they were to overturn our rights, they could not take our children away from her.
Man,
and that's money, dude. Getting an adoption attorney is expensive.
I'm telling you.
So that's a current struggle that we're dealing. Not struggle. I mean, we're gonna get it done.
Obstacle.
There
you go. That's a better one.
Once we get the adoption done, I think that we both can take a deep breath and know, like, there's nothing that the government can do to fuck with our family.
Makes sense. And I mean, with the state of the world right now, not to dip into politics, but you just see, you know, what's going on with everything. And I can only imagine waking up tomorrow going, well, you know, what's our family dynamic going to look like in the next year, and that challenge. So
especially with with Bree being a Marine, you know, like, you know, the military goes, as soon as those executive orders come out, bro, like that's it.
Bam,
you guys
bam,
gotta
bam.
follow it. And what do we do? Like, there's nothing we could do. But thankfully, I think once we get the adoption process done and sealed, I think that we can rest. Because, I mean, yeah, go ahead and take our rights. We don't have to be married. We could still live in the same house and have a family. At the end of the day, a marriage certificate is a piece of paper. It's not going to make our love different. It's not going to change my family. Like, I'm not afraid of them taking away my marriage certificate. Take it, but you're never going to take what I have.
What you have right there. And that's key, man. And it's good to hear and it's good to see, because that's what makes up a family in general. Same sex, hetero, what doesn't matter who you are, if love is love.
Exactly.
And so I ask that because the challenges, you know, you guys face has got to be intense. And looking at the dynamic of yourself, you know, you said you were previously married to a male.
Yep.
And that journey, you want to talk about that journey and
how I ended up with my wife. So I met my ex-husband fresh out of an abusive relationship with my ex-girlfriend. It was a pretty intense relationship, one of my longer relationships, and ended in a pretty abusive way.
Okay.
My mom actually picked me up after we had just gotten in a big ass fist fight. Called my mom. I was like, I need you to come pick me up. My mom picked me up, and I'm like bleeding. My hair's all fucked up. It was a mess. Yeah.
Wow.
She picked me up. And Mom's like, you could stay on my couch, but you're not going to be bringing any females in my house. Like, my mom was not accepting. That's why I didn't live at home. I left home very. I would say the age, but I feel like it's kind of going to come across as child abuse. But I was definitely under the age of 18 when I left my home.
Yeah.
Because I was gay. Brought my girlfriend home to a little family barbecue and started introducing her. I was like, yeah, this is my girlfriend. And my mom was like a girlfriend who's your friend. And I was like, no, like a girlfriend, we have sex. And my mom was like, tight, tight, tight. Literally went into my room, got all my shit threw into trash bags and threw me outside. So I was not accepted as a gay person. Yeah.
Man. Girl.
Yeah. So I just got, and my mom kind of was like, thankfully, that I will tell my mom, like, she was fucking there for me. I called her. I was like, yo, like, I know you don't accept me being gay. I just got in a fist fight with my
she was always mom's.
Yeah. She was like, I'm going to go pick you up. You could stay on my house. You could stay on my couch, basically, but you're not going to date women in my house.
Gotcha.
And I was like, honestly, just pick me up.
Just want to deal with that right now. Yeah. Gotcha.
But she was firm with, they did not want me to be gay. My family did not want me to be gay.
Wow.
Went back to my mom's. I was on the couch, and I was like, I had thought I had hit rock bottom. I was like 21 or something. I was like, this is it. This is I'm done. You know, you get heartbroken.
The life of a 21-year-old.
Yeah, and I'm like dragging myself to work. But I did that, and I actually, in the mix of all of that, in between that healing process, and I met my ex-husband, and we instantly clicked. It was like we knew each other
like a friendship.
Whole lives.
I can imagine.
Dude, we like instantly were bros. It was amazing. And
that's good.
We kind of both were like, let's try it. He's like, I know you've always been with females. Like, that doesn't offend me in any way. Like, he's like, if you want to try it, I'm willing to try it. And I was like, sure. Like, love is love.
Yeah,
like you
there you go. You know, that's it.
Yeah. He made me feel loved. He took care of me. I took care of him. We were best fucking friends. Like, why not?
Yeah.
And it was great. Great 5 years. At the end, we started to try to have a family. And that's when I started to learn about my infertility issues that I already had.
Got it.
And then we finally did get pregnant, but it ended in a miscarriage.
Ooh.
And that was another like wave of emotions. And I was like, okay, I don't think I'm where I'm supposed to be.
Gotcha.
I felt like that was a sign from God that I'm not where I'm supposed to be. And it was time to level up. I know it sounds terrible.
No, this is your truth, man.
Like, you can hear,
this is her truth.
I kind of have, I sat in the hospital after my miscarriage, got discharged, and I went home, and I was like, not where I'm supposed to be.
So that's just the
message I got from my miscarriage. Like, everything happens for a reason. I'm a firm believer of that.
Okay.
And I have a very tight relationship with God, even though I'm gay. God is my dude. Like, I would not be here today if it was not for God.
That's huge.
Like, literally, no, I don't care. Like, I will always say that. Like, I would not be here if it wasn't for God.
No, that's a challenge. I'm not going to interrupt her, but I shall. That's a challenge because there's people, when we talk about faith, you know, there's a lot of folks don't believe in those two mix. And I was going to ask you after this, so I don't take away your story, but that relationship with faith and being in your position, how those two mesh and how you and your family see faith going forward. So, but we'll get to that in a quick
for sure. So yeah, that was my sign. I remember praying, and after like it all happened, and I was like, I'm not where I'm supposed to be.
Gotcha.
So I sat down with my ex-husband, and I was like, that I love you more than anything. Yeah. And he knew, obviously, like, spouses know spouses. And he's like, I know. I didn't even have to say anything.
Oh, that's
I
good.
know. He's like, I know. He's like, I love you. I'll always love you, and I'll support you. We'll get through this.
Oh, man.
And we did. Like, he was a writer. We did. We got through it. He went on with his life. I went on with my life. I ended up meeting my wife a couple years later, and here we are.
Damn! Shout out to him for being a good dude, man. Dude,
seriously, like,
it could be worse.
I say that all the time. I'm like, I would not be where I'm at today if it wasn't for him. Like, he was like my little knight in shining armor that I needed in between.
You needed him in that moment.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's it. Like, you meet people in life, you grow together, and then you keep going. So right on. And let's jump. I want to jump right into that.
Yeah.
Faith.
Oh yeah. I don't go to church every Sunday. I cuss clearly.
Present.
I'm a little ghetto. I won't say a little. You can take me out the hood, but you can't take the hood out of me.
That's right. That's true. You get to know her. Sure.
So yeah, I mean, God, like, I have a very tight relationship with God. My family and I pray every night before we go to bed. We pray over our food on our way to school. Anytime my kids are scared, the first thing they say is, Jesus, please protect me.
Oh,
like,
man,
good job.
that's
yes,
huge.
That's what you say when you're scared. Like, Jesus, God is the center of everything. Even me and my wife, like, when we first started getting to know each other, her family has a very, very big religious background. Yeah, her family was very religious.
I didn't know that.
And we both had our feelings towards it because both of our families were very Christian. They obviously did not want us to be gay. So they forced us into counseling and all these crazy, pray the gay out of us, all those things, you know? So it does it leaves a taint. It makes religion bittersweet. So when people ask me, what's your religion? I am not religious. I have a relationship with God. That's
true. We've been hearing a lot, right? Melissa, we've been hearing a lot more of that lately, is like, hey, are you a religious person? What's, your specific denomination? Oh, I don't have any of those per se, or I don't label it that way, but I have a relationship with God, with my higher being, God, whatever. So,
and that's always been my thing. I think growing up with religion kind of being like my parents' saving grace. Anytime like their marriage was failing or my dad was an alcoholic, we'd go to church and Jesus was going to save it all. And I was just like, I don't think that's the way it's supposed to be used. I mean, call me crazy, but I don't think that's how it's supposed to be. But so yeah, I've just always said I have a relationship with God. Good. And God's been my ride or die. Like, he's kept me alive. I've literally been in ditches and he's kept me alive for a reason. Right.
And I'm telling you that this is huge, because I love talking about real things, and it's not a fluke here. Like, doesn't matter who you love or their gender, or God is God to you and what you feel. So I'm glad, because there's people out there. I got family members, we got friends that think differently than we feel in our own situation. So,
and even like, what I don't understand is God just loves.
And exudes love, literally.
Us human trying to be so hard and judging, and it's like, bro, you're not even God. Let me deal with that when I get up there.
Well, that's my moment. Don't
worry about me and mine. Worry about you and yours. Yep. Like, I don't sit here and be like, well, how can you be gay, or how could you be cheating on your wife and be praying at the same dinner table?
I'm telling you,
it's the same shit. Sin is sin, bro.
Yeah, big or small.
Yeah, it's the same. Sin is sin.
This is huge, man.
I'll meet you up there at the judgment, and we'll see who gets it. Like,
hey, no, when you put, that's the best analogy, right? I say I don't fear anybody or their opinions. There's only one person,
one God that I got to talk to when I get there.
Facts.
And when I get there, I'll figure it out.
This is good, man. That's why I love you. So, and that's huge. Thank you for that, and that real insight. Because, again, like I said, there's a lot of people that would either be not ashamed, but probably less willing to come forth and say, oh, I have a relationship with God because of, my position. Yeah. So thank you for that.
Of course. It's good to share. I mean, it's not like, I don't know. You know me, like, we got nothing to hide, bro.
No, man. Love is love. And I've always said, like, you do you. And again, at the end of the day, you got one individual, one being that's the Almighty, and He's going to judge. And that's all you have to worry about. Yep. So, and clearly you're successful, and clearly you've done things right. You've got a beautiful family.
Thank you.
And so at the end of the day, it's like, what's different between you and this person who's doing it, quote unquote, the right way? There is none.
No. The right way is your way.
And I was just gonna.
That is your way.
It's like a sister I never had.
It's your way, like just your family too. Like you can get all over the internet, and I saw you post like about you guys praying, and then the kids having.
Oh yeah,
like,
yeah.
It's like you do what works for you.
I was like, well, whatever.
Dude. Like literally,
yeah.
and you learn that like whatever works for you.
Yeah.
It's your home, your guys' dynamic. It's just whatever works for you. It's everybody's dynamics are different.
And I'm telling you, one of the things outside of the other things I admire about you is your willingness to come forward with that and your faith and going right into CEO. Like she's done it all. She's here now and she's the CEO. She is literally the inventor, creator, the one behind pulling the strings behind a company she started from her home one day.
In the slumps of depression.
In the slumps of depression and everything she just talked about.
Yeah.
She decides one day to go, I got this idea. Bam, plug in the mom assistant here in Okinawa, Japan. And this woman, I mean, I'll let her tell you, but from what I've seen and what I've witnessed myself, this thing is taken off beyond belief. And she has plugged herself into a place where people need people, and she's turning into an enterprise. Yeah. So let's plug into the mom assistant. Tell me about that. What how did that begin?
Depression.
Depression.
Postpartum depression is real. I would say that for all the moms out there. Okay. Yep. Like, even though I have my faith in God and things like that, postpartum depression is real, and it comes up in so many different ways, shapes, and forms. Like, get help, talk to people, get your circle, just talk to God, honestly. But yeah, I was severely depressed. It was weird because it came in a wave after I thought postpartum depression, but apparently it can it kind of honestly until like up to 5 years, it can come in waves.
I can see that. Yeah.
Is still like adjusting.
Kids are growing. Yeah. Things are changing in your life. Yeah.
And the kids hit about 1.5. And I was like, what is happening? Why am I slowly starting to hate where I'm at right now? You know, like I just started to find like a good groove. And I was struggling. And my wife's like, I'm going to take you to dinner and let's talk. Nice. She took me to dinner and she's like, what brings you happiness? Like, what makes you happy?
Good question.
And I was like, or no, she was, what brings you joy and what are you good at?
Okay.
I was like, wiping asses and washing dishes. Literally, that's what I'm good at right
life
now.
Right now.
Coming from somebody who was slinging fucking cars left and right, and now I'm like good at is washing dishes and wiping asses. Like, what?
That's it.
Who am I?
That's my life.
You know? Man. And after I said that, I was like, this is ridiculous. Like, that's not the only 2 things I'm good at.
Yeah.
Like, no, there's
this isn't the end of my story.
No, yeah. And so she literally, Bree brought a notebook and was like, write down all the things you like doing and all the things that you're good at.
Ooh.
So I wrote it all down. I was like, I like organizing, I like event planning, I like time management, I like doing all these boom, 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 and listed everything down.
Yeah.
And she was like, turn that into a business.
Dang.
And I was
okay,
like,
Bree.
yo.
Fire.
Yeah.
Lit.
And another time I fell in love with her all over again. I was like, she fucking gets me. Like, any spouse, like, she had it, and not to say it sounds weird when I was like, she had it made, but like, you're an active duty service member.
Yeah.
The easiest solution is to have a full-time parent at home.
Oh yeah, that's too easy. Yeah, it is.
That's the easy
See you when I get home. Enjoy.
Yes. Yep. Active duty spouse, goes to work all day. Either it's the range, it's the training, like
everything.
They're full-time, more than full-time. Being an
We're
active duty
engaged.
service member is more than full-time. Yeah. Like, you never know when you're going to need to go because one of your fucking Marines got in a car accident. Like, you just never know, you know?
Yep.
So the best way, and most normal military families, the wife always stays home.
It's true.
It's convenient. I now see both sides of it.
Yes.
But that's not for me.
No.
So that's where the mom assistant came from.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was like, whoa, you know, she had a point. So I did. I sat on it. I manifested it. I prayed on it. I was like called up some of my buddies who own businesses. I was like, yo, what do you think about this? I think I'm going to launch this. And they're like, do it, dude. Do it. Go hard. Do it. You can do it. I was like, all right. So got on Canva, started doing all these things, listed out all my stuff. And I just got on Facebook and started posting relatable questions. Like, do you ever wish you had this? Do you ever wish you had that? Like, think about, and it was things that I would think about while I'm washing dishes and wiping asses. Like, I wish there was somebody back here folding my laundry. I wish there was somebody that could organize my laundry room while I'm outside playing with my kids. Like, I wanted those things.
Dang.
So
supply demand.
Yeah, exactly.
Dang.
That's how I came up. And so I made maybe 4 or 5 posts, and I was only one. I don't have a staff yet, but I was like, dude, this was like, I was constantly getting messages like, I'm interested. Can you help me? Can I schedule an appointment? And now I'm like,
overbooked.
Yeah.
In a good, that's a problem you want to have.
And it's launched into so many different things.
Different
now I'm
little
in the process of like
subgenres that you can do, right?
Now I'm in the process of launching my interior decorating side of it. And that's going to be a whole nother side aside from the personal assistant. So essentially what it is, I didn't even say what it is.
Yeah.
I'm a personal assistant. Yes, I myself am the mom assistant because I'm a mom. Mm-hmm. I do target towards moms because I know what it's like.
Right.
But I am more than capable to be a personal assistant to anybody else, even if you don't have kids. Like, everybody likes an organized home. Everybody likes to come home to a cozy home. Like, when I was single and in the car business, I had somebody helping me. She'd cook, clean, do my laundry. Right. Like, she was my assistant. When busy lives, you need that extra help.
Sometimes you need it.
Yeah, mm-hmm. And I did. I had 3 clients who didn't have kids, but I helped time manage, do their groceries, their meal planning, meal prepping. So when they got home, they just had to come home and cook real quick. Yeah. Laundry was folded, like certain things like that. Like, everybody needs
little things that just help in life.
Exactly.
Yep.
So I just like to say I'm like the little, like, Tinkerbell.
I was gonna say
like Tinkerbell that comes in and goes. That's me.
Little fairy dust, and then things are done.
Yeah, exactly.
But tell like that in itself. So she's a personal assistant, not just to moms.
No.
So if you're out there and you need help, you're on Okinawa for right now, right? If you're here in Japan and you just need help with anything, I mean, groceries, laundry,
meal planning,
meal prepping,
errands, grocery shopping,
organization,
time management, decorating.
Boom. She does it all.
Shoot me what you need and I got you.
I will plug in the video here her links, all the stuff to her business, so you can seek her out. Help support her business. She doesn't need it. She's balling already. Bring it to me. But no, really, you can support her. Mom Assistant is blown up. I know watching her grow from this small, idea when you first started. Yeah. I remember, talking with us, and now watching you, like, guys, I'm like, it's falling out of my hands because I have so much going on. But you're continuing to expand. I won't touch on your personal future plans because that's for you, but I can only see this blowing up into as far as you allow it to go.
Yeah.
Sky's
the limit, man. It's amazing.
I could see here on someone's wall as a CEO of whatever company and whatever you decide to take with this. And it's been a joy to watch. This has been awesome.
I know. I'm excited. I'm excited that I have you guys. I remember sitting in my backyard with Mal from the press.
Yeah.
And be like, I think I'm going to start this. What do you think? She's like, yeah, girl.
I remember that. Yeah, it's crazy.
And it just blew up. It just blew up. And then eventually she just didn't hear from me anymore because I was always busy.
And then I wrote her off. And that's how life works, right? And now she's coming back.
Yeah.
And I'm going to clean her bathrooms as a janitor in her building. So that's how life works. But this has been a great thing. The Mom Assistant is huge. Started from the trials and tribulations of a mom at home figuring out, what am I doing with myself? And hopefully this story inspires those moms, those people out there that are sitting there going, what can I do? And you never know what can be that spark.
Yeah. Especially nowadays, especially for I want to just tell moms out there, literally dig into what brings you joy. If that's a one thing that you can try to figure out in the midst of the chaos of, the diaper changing, the school drop-offs, take a moment, even when you're just driving. That was a big thing for me. I started driving in silence a lot.
I do it almost daily.
Yeah, it's weird.
Just
but it helps me actually hear my thoughts.
There you go.
Yeah. And it's just what does bring me happiness? And I just, in my notes, in my phone, in my notes, I'm like, oh, I would love to decorate a birthday party, or I can make goodie bags for a mom who needs 20 goodie bags for their kids' school event.
Last minute things, right?
And I'm quick. And I also know the island so well that it was an advantage for me that I had already been here for a while and explored different areas. So I was like, oh yeah, I know exactly where I can find that. And moms don't have the time to go to try to figure it out.
Nope. So again, this has been a great journey for you. It's been a great journey to watch. Your family, again, has grown with you. I know your wife's your number one supporter and everything, and she's constantly feeding you ideas. And I know
supporting me. Last night I was up till 3 a.m. on my laptop, and I actually fell asleep on my laptop. I was like,
oh no.
I was starting to wake up, so I felt my neck, and she was like, babe, and she closed my laptop. She's like, go to sleep. And then she's like, it's 3:07. Why are you still up? And I was like, I was working on my website.
Hustle.
It never ends, especially when you get that going. You're just you got to get it out,
Man, it's been crazy, and I'm excited that I get to watch this small snippet, and I'm excited where you go in the future. And it's been an absolute ride for you. So again,
when I have my big like ribbon cutting ceremony, y'all are gonna be there.
Oh, we better be like there, right? There's
we
no
started from the bottom.
Started from the bottom. No, I'm not a Drake
It reminds
fan.
me of when I got invited to your promotion. That was dope.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. I invited her to my promotion.
Awesome. That's a big thing in the military.
No, it is, and you know, it's because she was and is a huge pillar in our lives. She's seen us when I'm pointing to my wife and I. V has seen us go through a lot of trials and tribulations in our life, and she's been there to support Melissa through a lot of things, and that's been huge. So again, we
gotta support one another.
I was just gonna say her big thing is supporting. She was a life coach, which I'm gonna get skills off of eventually. Yes. I could sit here and probably plug a million different things off her alone, but I just wanted to bring her on and share this journey, have her share what she's been through. Is there any final thing that you want to kind of pitch or share outside of mom assistant CEO style?
Just really like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, you only live once,
from
man.
your heart, V.
Yeah.
What do you feel?
Like, I think one thing my grandma always said, and I said it once already, was live and let live. Like, just live your life, man. Whatever it looks like, it's not going to look like everybody else's life. Social media is just a bunch of squares of filtered shit.
I love that.
Coming from, we're like the last generation before social media.
Literally, right? Oh,
so
man.
we know it is like knowing not that our pictures aren't going to be all over the internet, you know? So it's beautiful. Like, life's more than the internet. Get off the internet and go outside.
Facts. There it is. Go ride your bike.
Yeah.
You know?
Literally.
I'm telling you, so.
Life's beautiful. Good. No matter what, whether it's through the fun or not. It's a beautiful thing. All right. It's a blessing to be alive.
Take that beautiful lesson. Live and let live.
Yeah.
Veronica Register, CEO, the mom assistant, everything you can see coming big things coming in the future. Yeah. It's been a joy to have you on.
Thanks for having me. It's been great.
Hopefully we can do another episode before her future plans take effect. If not, I'll keep you updated with her journey. I'll plug all her stuff in the video. Yeah. And yeah, it's been a joy. Thanks for coming on.
Of course.
All right. Appreciate y'all. Peace.